Power is one of the most misunderstood forces in human life. People often imagine it as dominance or pressure, yet most power unfolds quietly. It can be seen in the person who listens more than they speak, who stays calm when others react, or who shifts the tone of a conversation simply by being present. This quieter form of influence is the kind Machiavelli understood. He recognized a simple truth. People respond to perception before facts, to emotion before logic, and to what feels real long before what is proven. This essay offers a more human and compassionate lens on Machiavelli's insights. It explores 7 psychological power switches that help individuals regain control of their lives while staying grounded, observant, and emotionally steady. These principles are not methods of manipulation. They are guides for understanding human behavior and moving through complex situations with clarity and dignity. In a fast, noisy, and often reactive world, these ideas provide a sense of direction. They help you navigate relationships, workplaces, and challenges with a calmer mind and a stronger inner center. Power and the human experience. People make decisions through emotion, expectation, and memory. They trust what feels comfortable. They avoid what threatens their identity. Much of this happens quietly, beneath awareness. Machiavelli understood that true influence begins with understanding these hidden forces, not overpowering others. Influencing someone begins with understanding them. It means seeing how they think, what they fear, and what they hope for. When you understand these elements, you can move through difficult situations with patience and less resistance. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Those who understand human behavior early can act early. Those who do not understand are forced to respond after the opportunity has passed. Before exploring each principle, it helps to see how inner strength shapes the way others perceive you. Real power starts within and becomes visible through intentional, subtle choices. 1. The illusion of weakness. Displaying strength too openly can sometimes trigger resistance. People defend their pride long before they defend the truth, and visible force often makes them guarded. Appearing less threatening softens tension. It creates room for openness. It allows others to show their motives rather than hide them. This principle is not about shrinking yourself. It is about recognizing that patience can be a stronger expression of power than pressure. When someone underestimates you, their guard drops. In that moment of comfort, truth becomes visible. Real influence comes not from pretending, but from creating space for clarity. 2. Shaping expectation. People understand the world through stories they build internally. They fill silence with assumptions, interpret gestures as meaning, and form impressions within seconds. These stories guide their reaction. If you gently guide the story, you guide behavior. A calm pause can signal confidence. A soft nod can express understanding. A measured response can offer reassurance. You are not forcing belief. You are shaping how others interpret your presence. In a world full of uncertainty, a steady and consistent narrative brings comfort. That comfort makes cooperation easier. Expectation becomes the emotional environment in which relationships succeed or fail. 3. Turning betrayal into insight. Betrayal reaches deeply into a person's sense of stability. It disrupts trust, triggers self-doubt, and can leave lasting emotional weight. Acknowledging this difficulty is part of understanding the full experience. Yet after the initial hurt settles, betrayal reveals important truths. It shows what someone values more than loyalty. It exposes hidden fears, priorities, and motives. Through a clear and steady lens, betrayal becomes information rather than injury. It teaches you who can hold your trust and who cannot. It clarifies where your energy belongs and where it must no longer go. It sharpens your awareness without hardening your heart. Machiavelli wrote, "Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony." Betrayal reveals what a person cannot bear to lose. That knowledge allows you to move forward with intention instead of resentment. 4. Controlling momentum. Momentum is the emotional movement within any interaction. When conversation flows easily, people relax. When tension rises, hesitation appears. When urgency grows, decisions move quickly. The strategist observes these emotional rhythms and guides them with care. A slow pause can calm heated energy. A thoughtful question can redirect attention. A small and well-timed piece of information can accelerate progress when needed. Momentum is guided through awareness, not pressure. When you understand the emotional tempo of a situation, you can influence it gently and effectively. 5. The power of silence. Silence is often misunderstood as discomfort or uncertainty. In reality, it often holds more clarity than words. Silence gives others room to speak honestly. It allows emotions to settle. It communicates confidence without aggression. People project their assumptions, hopes, and fears into silence. This gives an attentive observer rare insight. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." Silence opens that path. 6. Controlled vulnerability. Vulnerability is often associated with weakness, but intentional vulnerability creates connection. It softens defenses and invites sincerity. Controlled vulnerability is not unrestricted exposure. It is the careful sharing of something genuine, a simple admission of uncertainty, a quiet acknowledgement of difficulty, a brief moment of openness. These moments humanize you. They help others respond with honesty rather than resistance. But vulnerability requires balance. Too much can overwhelm. Too little can distance. Power lies in authenticity, supported by clear boundaries. 7. Scarcity and strategic absence. Your presence has greater value when it is not constant. When you step back, people reflect. They notice what you bring to the environment. They recognize your importance. Scarcity is not withdrawal. It is purposeful presence. People appreciate what feels meaningful. When you offer your time and energy with intention, your influence grows naturally. Machiavelli observed that men desire novelty yet are governed by need. Scarcity honors both instincts. It elevates appreciation and deepens respect. How these principles work together. These 7 switches create their strongest impact when combined. Imagine a workplace conflict. One person remains quiet as tension rises. They then reveal a brief moment of vulnerability, admitting uncertainty. After that, they step back slightly, creating scarcity. These 3 actions soften the room. People feel safer to speak honestly. The emotional current shifts. Silence enhances vulnerability. Scarcity reshapes expectation. Betrayal reveals the emotional terrain. Momentum guides timing. Softness reduces resistance. Together, these principles create a compassionate and grounded approach to influence. They remind us that power does not always need volume. Often, it needs awareness. A human approach to Machiavellian insight. Machiavelli is often seen as severe, yet his insights reflect a nuanced understanding of human behavior. He recognized that people are emotional beings, shaped by fear, hope, and perception. These psychological switches do not promote force. They promote awareness. They encourage emotional intelligence. They help people communicate, lead, and relate with greater steadiness. Power becomes less about controlling others and more about understanding oneself. Conclusion: influence through clarity and humanity. Power does not require intimidation. It requires understanding. It requires the discipline to observe carefully and act with intention rather than impulse. When you allow others to underestimate you without resentment, guide expectation with care, turn betrayal into understanding, direct momentum with emotional awareness, use silence to create clarity, share vulnerability with intention, offer your presence purposefully, you create influence that is steady, grounded, and fully human. These principles help you move through the world with confidence that does not demand attention and strength that does not rely on force. They show that true power lives in patience, insight, and presence. Those who master these ideas do not dominate others. They illuminate situations. They bring calm to uncertainty. They lead with clarity and compassion. This is the kind of power that endures. It is the kind that heals rather than harms. It is the kind Machiavelli recognized beneath the surface of human behavior. How might your life change if you chose to practice even one of these principles with intention tomorrow?